So I finally got batteries in the bike mount for this thing so that I could do a video with the gimbal so that you'd be able to see some nice stabilized video on my new e-bike. But the day that I got this, some jackass in the bike lane managed to open his door right into me while I was riding, and I went flying into a garbage truck. So after a nice, very, very long shower and some hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, and whatnot, I've come back to my bike having two errors. It has error code 12 and error code 8. And this is a Bafang BBSHD bike. Error code 12 is typically something with the controller. That's going to be some sort of current sensing issue where the bike can't tell how much current it's taking. And for all of those who are going to give me the response that Jason gave me of check pins 17 and 18 on the ISL 6259, go f*** yourself. I actually already bought myself a new controller. We're going to try getting rid of the hall sensor error because while the current sensing error will cause it to occasionally go out, I can still use it until I get the new controller. The error 8, which is a hall sensor effect error, causes it to not work at all. Now this bike is trolling, which is that Paul here, being the kind, nice man that he is, decided to try and help me yesterday, and he actually put it back together so it worked. He fixed everything. And the moment that we put the Bafang back on the bike, it didn't work. So this is being a troll. So we're going to try and fix this so that it works permanently. Now, Paul's theory, based on what we've read online, is that there is a bad solder joint on the Hall effect sensor because the pin for the Hall effect sensor was actually bent when we looked at the inside of it. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, like I did crash it, but it's my personal opinion that if I didn't crash it hard enough to actually break my arm, it shouldn't be hard enough to break the motor. So I'm not really impressed with the durability of this thing now. I'm certainly not. But let's see what we can do. Now, for all of you who are wondering how skilled I am as a mechanic, Paul, how skilled am I as a mechanic?
Not very.
Yeah, that's the nice way to put it. I think yesterday was the first day that I ever got my own personal set of Allen key screwdrivers. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this thing up. So this is my bike, Schwinn Searcher 2. This is the screwdriver for that. Whip. So this is fun. I'm mechanicking. I'll be Paul in no time. Being a mechanic is just like reading an iFixit guide and replacing a keyboard, right? So do you use the screwdriver to get the pedal off or just the hammer?
You could try the claw, actually.
What, this?
Yeah, I didn't think about trying the claw. Just, you gotta be real careful not to bend that. No, hold on, that's not gonna work. Like this.
Oh, duh.
No, that's not gonna work. You're gonna wind up bending it, so smash it off.
Let's see. I need to hit the gym. And I didn't hit myself in the knee that time, so that's actually a bonus. I'm becoming a better mechanic. All right, so now we get the other size out. I like these Allen keys that have the T thing on them. After we take off that, then we have to take off whatever this thing is called. What's this thing called?
What? Here?
The thingy. The thingy that's after the pedal that the chain spins on.
52 wheel.
My assistant here is going to help make sure that you have a good camera angle. Yes. Make sure there's a good camera angle. Oh. That's... Assistant is not doing his job, so Paul is.
No, assistant is doing everything.
Assistant is being useless.
Assistant is doing...
What are you doing? Why are you fixing MacBooks? Today's Bafang Day.
Today's fixed.
Why are you doing things that are going to make money and be good for business reputation when you could be fixing my bike? Especially warranty. We don't supposed to have a warranty here. Warranty is when you leave the store. We have the same warranty as AliExpress does on this Bafang motor.
The warranty's out of sight. Once
Just-
you're out of sight, it's over.
Yeah. Hey, iPad Rehab's here?
Yep.
Jessa, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. I think she doesn't like me anymore. Actually, I think she hasn't liked me for 4 years, but now she's finally acting on it. I never hear from Jessa anymore. I understand. I've trolled her for like 4 years now. There's no reason for her to speak with me anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to put some paper towels on the floor just so that I don't get all this chain oil there. I like to use about the same amount of chain oil as I do flux. So you can imagine that. Just the right amount. Okay. And I'm trying to sort my screws out in little piles because I have no idea where this shit goes. So this is supposed to come out next, I believe.
Tiny tap.
A tiny tap.
Tiny tap.
All right. For the chain has to come off first, though, right?
Yeah, it would help.
All right. So if I tap this over here in the back, then I should be able to do this. By the way, don't search for Error 8 or Hall Effect Sensor Bafang on YouTube, because all you're going to find is this crazy Australian guy that goes, yeah! He was not helpful at all. So, damn, I put it on really hard last time. That's some durability right there. All right, so then we're going to unscrew this thing. Oh, yeah, you have to cut all the nice wire ties that we put, because we assumed that it was working, because it was working until we plugged it into the... There's a wire for the speedometer going to the motor.
Should have 2 more zip ties to put.
One. Okay, so then now we're going to go to the other side of the bike. This office is so small I can't turn a bike around. Hub NYC, if you're watching this and want to buy out my lease. Hint, hint. Do you want me here at the lease price that I negotiated until 2023? I don't think so. Yeah, you totally want to buy out my lease, don't you? All right, so next up is the next pedal. So we're going to hold this down with my shoe. This would be some cool product placement if Nike gave me money for this. Zoom Air Streak 3. With breathability, the comfort of a high top, and the appearance of a low top. Okay, I didn't hit myself in the balls with the pedal, which is doing better than I expected. Now, you have to get... Oh. There's a nut that I think you need a special tool to remove, but since we don't have the special tool, a screwdriver and a hammer will do. If you watch any of AVE's videos, you'll notice that a flathead screwdriver can be substituted for a box cutter, a prier, just about anything, really. Just about everything that I'm doing here, I learned from watching something that AVE did.
The blender.
Yeah, the way AVE opens the blender is the way I'm going to open this bike. Do you watch AVE?
You should see the way he opened the battery-operated glue gun.
Oh, God. We have to send him that MacBook, by the way, for repair. We have a MacBook here that we couldn't figure out, and I really wanted to send it to AVE for repairing. All right, so unscrew this. I think Paul would rather work on a Bafang than touch bars with no image.
Yes.
That's why he's helping.
Yes.
This is not out of charity. Paul doesn't want to do touch bars with no image. Duke doesn't want to do touch bars with no image.
We tried doing touch bars as well.
Who wants to do touch bars with no image?
I'd like to get it that it works and we find the actual issue.
Okay, so now we have the motor out of the bicycle. So now we can put it on this thing, which I'm going to at my desk, which I will ruin with oil. So let's go up to the Sony A5100 camera up above the desk and take a look at Bafang. So this is Bafang. I'm just going to make my desk a little bit cleaner so that it's possible to view Bafang properly. Thank you. So this here is the BBSHD 48 volt 1000 watt. So let's take this thing apart.
It's not very skookum and it's not a choocher.
This is not a Skoochum Choocher. Is it a Skoochum Choocher? Is it supposed to Skookum Chooch? Or a Chooch?
It's supposed to chooch in a skookum way.
Oh, Skookum, not Stoochum. Okay, I'm getting it. I've only been to Canada once, so you gotta forgive me.
You sound so dumb right now.
Alright, so we got this piece. Now we take off. Ugh. This is gonna be painful. Let's zoom out a little bit. there's this rubber gasket in here that's supposed to keep it from getting liquid inside.
Yeah, be careful with it. You can't replace it.
Okay, do I take apart the other side
No,
or
you
just
gotta,
disconnect this
you
side?
gotta disconnect all the connectors first.
How do you even... Oh, there you go. Okay, so there's a green wire. There's a yellow wire. And there's a blue wire. If any of you know what these wires do, by the way, it would be much cool.
That's the phase wires for the motor. That's the main power to the motor. I'm gonna disconnect this.
What's that thing?
Sensors.
Oh, that's Hall sensor?
No, the Hall sensor's on this line.
What type of sensor is that?
That was
Don't-
your pedal assist sensor.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
this is your controller.
This is the controller, but this is what the MacBook is going to look like next year, by the way.
All pop-
Anybody who's wondering what the MacBook Pro 2019 is going to look like, it's going to be something that looks like this. Would you be surprised if the 2019 MacBook were this?
fully potted where you can't do anything.
Yeah, probably this. This is the next step. So this would be where my current sensing issue is. But the thing is, I can't imagine how there'd be a current sensing issue inside here from any type of liquid, because this is like, how would liquid get in here?
It could go up. If this isn't fully sealed, it could go up and travel up through the wires. Through
Jesus.
like between it.
So,
It's a
okay,
problem we have in automotive.
I need you to dig this out and get the find the shunt resistor.
Dig all this out.
Do you think that's possible?
It's possible, but I don't think it'll. I don't think it'll work afterwards.
Daniel, don't sniff that. Daniel, why are you sniffing that? Don't sniff. Jesus Christ, kid. What are you doing?
It smells like China sweatshops.
What the fuck are you smelling that for, man?
Oh,
It smells like Chinese children's tears.
yeah.
It smells like the tears of kids that work for Apple. All right, next we're going to do the other side of the motor. Why doesn't car owner pay for this? Car owner drove off while Lewis was on the street, bleeding out onto the pavement. Okay, so there. Now after this, this is Mr. Bafang,
That's the actual motor itself.
and then there's that. You don't have to take this thing off,
No,
right?
That's just the gears.
Okay. So did I get every screw? I did.
I'm taking this apart. It's gonna have.
Don't turn it on. Take it apart. All right. Come on. Get the.
I'm not gonna actually like hit anything.
All right. You're gonna be very careful while we're pulling this. Are we?
Bafang.
Yeah, you want those wires to slide with it.
Oh shit. They threw this crap?
Yeah.
How the hell are you gonna get them to slide through here? What about oh, that one goes to the motor, the gears,
Yeah,
right?
That one goes to the gears.
Okay, so I'll push on the wire a little bit rather than pull from the other side. That'll be healthier for the wires. Get through. Wait, how the hell is this gonna go through there?
You don't really have to get it all the way through, I guess. Might be good to just take it all the way out, though. There you
Okay,
go.
so this here is our sensor board, right? Now you said there was a pin that was bent.
Yeah, this pin and this connector was bent, and I had to bend it back, so it might be a cold solder joint on the other side of that.
Alright, let's zoom in and show them that. Can you make an Arduino for zooming with a little button on the desk?
That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool. So yeah, so this is what we have here. And I really love that Sony zoom lens. That is sick. Let's see if we can get a little bit more on there. The amount of zoom you get with this is crazy.
Yeah, but it looks so ridiculous.
The lens is about 5 times the size of the actual camera. So this is the connector for the Hall sensor, and one of the pins was bent, so we may have a messed up solder joint. So we're gonna try removing this little board, because remember our error is error 8. Okay, so this says BBS-04-0204, and I googled this because I was trying to find if I could just buy the entire board, and I can't find this shit anywhere. So if anybody can tell me where it is I can find this thing, because this may affect my error 8 if I'm not able to fix this board, that would be very highly appreciated. Did you buy the same motor for Paul? Yes, I bought the same high-quality motor for
And
Paul.
The same motor for me. I bought the same. We're all getting those.
We're all getting the same piece of shit that fails from one impact. And that's the thing. The front of the bike got impacted. Like I had issues with the axle, but the motor itself didn't get any impact. That's why I think it's so lame that it failed so easy. Is that something you should fix in work hours? Dude, I work every single day. Fuck that. Yes, I'm gonna fix this during work hours. I get zero.
It's either this or no image touch bars.
Yeah, plus it's either this or no image touch bars, and we have other employees here, so you know, there's like 6 other people that work here now. I'll fix my bike if I wanna, because by the end of the day I'm gonna be too tired and I'm not gonna have any incentive to do this.
Yeah, you just want to ride home.
Yeah, and plus I want to ride home. There's that. Why remove this screw? Doesn't PCB just come out? Probably, but the thing is, I've never taken this apart before. So when I haven't taken something apart before, I take all the precautions and I take my time and I do it like an idiot. All right, so let's see how this thing is fixed there. So okay, you dudes are right. You fuckers are right. Apparently, the Hall sensors, yeah, you don't need to take all the screws out. I could have only taken 2 of them out. And you're right, you're right.
Why am I even doing this?
Does this look burned to you guys? Because this looks like a bright red, and that looks like a really darker red. So next, we're going to take a look at that under the microscope. So these are the solder joints for Hall sensor 1, Hall sensor 2, Hall sensor 3. This is the connector, which is way too red. There we go, fixed. And these are the solder joints.
I feel like an X-Acto would be better for this.
Here are the solder joints for the Hall sensor connector, and then here are the solder joints for the Hall sensors themselves. And, oh, those are some shit joints. Oh my god. So this is Bafang quality control right here. You gotta be shitting me.
That looks cold in the hole.
Alright.
They're not expecting you to actually do it.
They are cheap. The controller was $100 that I found on Lunicycle. It's not really that, it's so much as I don't want to wait for the controller. Like, the price of the controller was not the big issue, it was the impatience. I want to try doing a video with the DJI Osmo on this bike without waiting till next week. Lunicycle's in California, so that's going to be a while.
We should pick priority, like, next night shipping.
Okay, these need some flux.
How many Pauls of flux?
Do you actually think we'll have a shunt resistor in the book?
No, man, just have to resolder that one. Or I'll just put liquid metal over it like what they did in the graphics card. That's what solder looks like when you mix lead-free with leaded. You should wick that solder before adding new one. There's somebody who's IPC certified in the chat.
Man, the solder they used is absolutely disgusting.
Just because Coke has solder.
What's that white stuff around the Hall sensor pins?
Silicone.
Silicone.
this stuff would, help. It's something on value.
I'm surprised that came from China with lead-free solder. Everything we get from China contains lead.
The only things you can touch and kids put in their mouths.
Yeah. I know that the Hall sensor works a good amount of the time. It just doesn't work the other amount of the time. So I imagine it's an intermittent connection. But I could also just be being a customer. The laptop turns on sometimes and not the other. I'm sure it's just a cable. It's just a cable.
I love the word just.
Blown cap C1. Yeah, the word just typically prefixes bullshit. It's just one chord appearance. It's just one cable. I just need you to fix the board. I just need you to do this construct. Like, just always prefixes somebody trying to sell you bullshit. Like me telling Paul, can you just do these 3 solder joints? First things first, remembering how this went together. Alright, let's make sure I don't F up the alignment of this thing. So, where does this thing plug in? Okay, so this goes... Shit, I forgot.
Do they actually? Yeah. Wait, does that avocado cream cheese or? Take the avocado.
I think the sensor should go between the windings on void spaces. Use a screw to line up the board mat. Okay. So there's a little there's a little notch for each Hall sensor there. Okay. I want to make sure I have the paper in the right place too.
What about the little papers?
There's little papers?
Yeah, these little papers were on the back of the Hall sensors.
Uh-oh. What do these things do?
I guess protect them from getting hit.
Like that actually works.
This?
Proper spacing. I think they were on the other side. I don't know, rewind the video, see if...
What side were these things on? The white paper is to keep the board from contacting the windings or XAP. No? How do those stay on? Paper insulator. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Somebody says it doesn't freaking matter. It's paper. It's not going to protect against shit. Hey, Bafang thinks that this is the way this is supposed to go to better. Who am I to... Now let's see if this paper sticks. Yeah, that's a joke. Alright, so we got this little piece of tape here. Okay, so we've got our little pieces of paper on there. Why the hell don't they have a washer on this, by the way? Look, I taped my little pieces of paper on. The little pieces of paper are moving around. Fuck. What do you think those little pieces of paper are there for, Paul?
Spacers.
Yeah, they're moving around like crazy. My little pieces of paper just fell off. Do I need the little pieces of paper? Okay, so without the paper, I was able to get it in there. Now, should I put a piece of Captain tape in there or just use it without the paper? Without the paper, it will vibrate until the joint comes loose. Did you know that you could get 300 LSE on store.rossmangroup.com? Check it out. We have this adhesive in 2.5 millimeter, 5 millimeter, and 10 millimeter sizes. You can use it on iPhone screens, iPad screens, iPod touch screens, Bafang motors, and more. Ability to actually repair or adhese anything is not guaranteed.
And it's original 3M product with the original.
If you think it's going to focus, you have to say the magic words. You know what the magic words are.
Getting some.
Damn. Did you find the shunt resistor?
No.
All right, so we're going to put this...
Taking everything out of this casing, and then you'll see.
But is it skookum? Yeah, it's skookum.
It's fucking skookum.
This motor is a skookum choocher. When it's chooching,
It's going to chooch.
it no chooch no more.
Do you think AVE would have been able to fix this much quicker? I wish...
think he would know more of what's going on if he would bust out the oscilloscope and show you the phases of the motor and find out exactly which sensor's not working right.
What's an oscilloscope?
It's this thing over here,
Oh, an oscilloscope.
the oscilloscope.
Okay, so now I have to put those 3 pieces of paper on. So I've got a little bit of 3M double-sided tape. That's some 3M 300 LSE. Available on store.rossmangroup.com. And it doesn't want to stick. Fuck. Stick, you bastard. Stick! Come off of the paper. Oh, you bitch. You absolute bitch. Let's see. Do any of these want to stick? Wow. Much fail. Alright. How about you? None of them want to stick to the damn hall sensor.
You might want to clean it with alcohol because it's got flux all over.
Oh, yeah, good point. There's no flux on here. You only used half a pole of flux. You don't need to put paper back. Leave protective 3M on for isolation. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Why am I taking this off just to put the fucking paper there? Alright. Let's see if this chooches. EVE has inspired me.
What's Daniel doing with that?
Bafang. Where do you think the current sensing resistor in this is? So my section is done. Now we're waiting on you.
Yeah, but
How do you... Okay, do people think there's any reasonable chance to find the shunt resistor on here? This is one shit-looking board, dude.
Apple ain't looking that bad now, huh?
Oh, yeah. Dude, compared to the... Yeah, Apple's boards actually look quite nicer than this.
yeah, but
The left current sense resistor looks a lot nicer than the right current sense resistor. This really does not want to come off.
Welding on the board. Now the whole board is heat sink. More so than the MacBook.
I would hope so for a 48 volt motor board. Alright, next. So I can overclock it more.
I wonder how fast my 750 watts is going to go compared to your 1000 watts.
Marathon Mini, buying it in full, huh? in New Jersey. Made thick to carry current, and they left this section right here blank, right here.
Oh God.
They tried to make that to carry high current, and they left this section blank.
So they're just using solder to carry current?
Yeah.
That's scary.
Louis,
What?
do you really trust this now that you've seen what's inside of it?
Not really.
Working?
Skookum choo choo.
This is kind of dissatisfying watching it load.
This is just extracting. I'm not loading it on my MacBook.
I'm sure it'll be good. They should make the MacBook like this Bafang where the entire case is a heatsink. That would be cool. Alright, back together you go. Could you have made more money fixing MacBooks than it would cost to buy a new motor? No comment. I plugged in the PS2 connector without breaking it.
Sure.
Love. Yep. That felt good. All right. Don't blow up in my... Don't.
Wait, no error.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. No current sense error.
No current sense error.
Did you just fix it?
No current sense
No
error.
current sense error.
Yes!
No current sense error! Okay, let's put this shit back together.
Hell yeah!
And let's see it not work like it did last night. Tire spin. We had fan spin.
We had
No,
motor spin.
we had motor spin. Now we have to see if we have tire spin. So that's just like Apple logo. Now we have to see if we could type in passcode. Okay.
The data recovery. Remember the one time?
Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Come Lord. No current sense error. You just turned that e-bike into a PC. Damn straight. No current sense error. Whoa. Okay. You jealous? You jealous? I know you're jealous. You with your car
I'm
and your driver's license. You're jealous of my bike, aren't you, boy? All right. So now it's time to tape all this shit up. So it's going to take me a long time to edit this video so that it's at all sensible. It's probably I didn't have mics for everybody else, and there was a lot of bullshitting in between. But that's how you fix a Bafang motor that has error 8 and error 12 after some jackass cab driver opens his door while he's parked in the bike lane and forces you to swerve into a garbage truck on a day that it's raining. So that's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. You always look out for cab drivers that are opening their doors in the bike lanes unless you want your arm to look like mine, because that was not fun. So see you in the next one, and yeah, this is pretty cool. Hopefully I inspired you to fix something that's a little bit outside of your purview, because, you know, every now and then it's kind of fun. I don't know shit about this. And also, big thanks to Paul, who did most of the work. by most, I mean like 95% of it every time I got stuck. 95% is kind of generous to me. 99%? Here, take a bow, Paul. He's a